global operating system. What will the software of the future look like? In the interview, Chief Executive Officer of SAP, Jim Hagemann Snabe.
Mr. Snabe, German weekly business magazine just listed SAP shares among the 10 blue chips that one could invest into without going too much into any risk. Besides the fact that I assume that you strongly agree to that point of view, why do you think our SAP shares are a good investment?
Well, I think a lot of that is due to our innovation-oriented strategy that is successful. We have, over the last 2.5 years, kind of reinvented a company that was very successful in the past and found new opportunities to rapidly innovate so that we can bring more value to our customers. This has driven a growth for SAP, 11 quarters of double-digit growth, and I think that might be the reason why people see, in an industry with lots of innovation happening, SAP taking a leading role.
Mm-hmm. You are one of the 2 CEOs at SAP. There is also Bill McDermott. How do you work as a duo? How does that constellation work?
It works extremely well. In many ways, you could say that we're in the lucky position to have 2 brains, 4 ears, so we can listen to our customers, and 4 hands, so we can get things done more effectively and faster. Of course, it depends on your ability to cooperate, and I was very pleased. I'm honored to work with Bill McDermott, who I know since many years, and who is very complementary to my skills. So together we cover more knowledge, and I think we are proving that 2 is better than 1, and maybe there is a shift in corporate governance where you can have teams running companies rather than always depending on a relatively old system of 1 person.
And you always agree on things? I mean, what happens if you don't agree on, certain decisions that you have to make?
So first of all, we don't always agree. I think that would be then not valuable to have 2. So what we do is we come at a decision from 2 different angles, and because of that, we have a broader view before we make the decision. As a CEO, you're often very much alone when you make the hard decisions. And in this case, we are 2. We can look at the problem from many angles, and we've proven ability to make even the hardest decisions faster than you normally would expect.
During your time as a CEO, which is about 2 years, now from your point of view, what was the most important change that you introduced to SAP?
I believe it was the decision to be a customer-driven, innovation-oriented company. This has a lot of implications. It means listen more to the customer. It means rethinking how we innovate. We would have relatively long cycles of innovation, and we said we need to be faster. We want to be a little bit like a startup company, but have the benefit of being a large company. So think of us as the largest entrepreneurial company in our industry. That was the vision we had. And I think that has been the key to unlock the potential of SAP.
Mm-hmm. And how did you manage to put that into place?
It started with a vision of company, which was a bigger vision than just being a software company. We said we want to help make the world run better. And it sounds fluffy, it sounds very ambitious, but in fact, if you look, we have 40 years of experience in helping companies optimize the use of resources. And we said, why can't we help entire value chains optimize resources? And why can't we help manage scarce resources like water, energy, CO2? We have customers in all industries, all the way from raw materials to manufacturing, distribution, and retailing. We can create that transparency on how we use resources, which will be one of the key challenges in a world of 7 billion people and expectations. So that vision of helping the world run better was a reason for, I believe, employees to be proud of working for SAP. And then secondly, the enablement of fast iterations of innovation, where we prototype with customers, has been the proof and the excitement of our organization that we can make a difference in the world.
The latest new software project of SAP is HANA. Can you explain in simple terms what HANA is all about?
Yes, HANA is one of the very big breakthroughs that we have with this innovation strategy. It basically challenges one big assumption that we've had since the start of IT, that data is stored on a disk. The disk is the slowest moving part in a computer. And with the latest technology, the computer is getting faster and faster, but the disk is not. So we challenged the assumption that data needs to be stored on disk. And the engineers came up with a breakthrough idea to store all data in main memory, which is approximately 10,000 times faster than a disk. And with that and an algorithm for compressing data, we can today hold all data of very large organizations in main memory, and because of that we can start predicting the future through mathematical models of access to data instead of just reporting the past. A capability which is very important in a world where there's more and more data and the markets are getting more and more unpredictable. We can help companies predict patterns of consumer preference. We even help predict the election in the US based on Twitter sentiment analysis. Again, an example of large volumes of data analyzed very fast because of the getting rid of the disk in a computer.
Mm-hmm. And the customers, in which areas do you think this kind of software would be most successful? Who is going to use the software?
We see the interest in all industries, and in every industry there's a problem we can solve, at least one, maybe more, that was impossible to solve before. For instance, in banking, with this speed that we have when we take data away from the disk into main memory, we can do real-time risk management. So with the current economical conversations about how do we reinvent a financial system, by having a real-time risk management, of course, we can improve the financial infrastructure. In healthcare, we can do DNA analysis of individual patients so that in cancer treatment, you find the exact mutation of the single patient. You search large volumes of medical information to figure out what is the best treatment for this mutation. With that, you get individualized treatment. Again, you get a bigger value, you're improving people's lives, and at the same time reducing costs of healthcare dramatically because you get to the right medicine at the first time.
I understand.
So you will see this, this technology being adopted in all industries. In oil and gas, we help them analyze seismic data to find oil fields with higher likelihood. Mm-hmm. And so basically all industries, and in particular industries with large volumes of data, like consumer-oriented industries, we can see patterns of consumer behavior and help make sure you have the right products in the right location at the right time at the right cost.
So there are business opportunities everywhere in a rapidly growing, developing markets, Asia, South America. But let us also talk about the challenges, the competition, the competitors. What are the main competitors that you see in this market where you are moving?
Well, we've had, of course, traditional main competitors. Typically in our industry, we've seen strong American companies. SAP is the only global player that comes out of Europe. We have, by our speed of innovation now, more to offer. And customers appreciate that coming from one company, so they don't have to buy from many. And with that, we see that SAP is growing rapidly, where others are not having any growth or even declining in revenue.
Mm-hmm. SAP once started as a small startup. Have you ever thought about starting a business yourself? I mean, now you're a manager of a big multinational company, but have you ever thought about that idea before?
I started my career as a trainee in a company that was, at that time, relatively small. And I am now the co-CEO of the company. So that shows a company that was willing to take some risks and challenge me on the way. I have always been inspired by the speed of innovation in small companies. And so a lot of my focus is about how do we make SAP act like a small company, even though we're big. And I've always spent a little bit of my spare time helping small companies. So with that, I've had enough exposure to companies that have a very different financial strength than we have, and therefore could challenge also how we do things.
Mm-hmm. When we talk about Germany, is Germany doing enough for young people going into the IT business, or do you think from your point of view there could be done more?
So first of all, I am proud of what Germany is doing if you look at the European environment. We have a challenging situation in Europe, and Germany is kind of the example of how you can have a very productive industry, manufacturing, how you can have real global players who take market-leading roles. So I think that is very good. There is no doubt in my mind that technology is the enabler, not just for growth in IT, but to enable even manufacturing and more heavy industries to become significantly more efficient. And there we actually have a problem that right now in Germany and in Europe, we don't have enough IT skills available. So rather than waiting for the political solution for that, we actually went in cooperation with the government in Germany to create this Academy Cube, which is the idea that we will educate 100,000 young people that are intelligent, well-educated, but don't have the IT skill, and give them the IT skill that we so much need in Europe to take a leading role in using technology to create productivity and growth. So to some extent, a good base. Germany probably the best. At the same time, we need more, and we're taking an active role.
Mr. Snabe, thank you very much for your insight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.